Hi, welcome to the Strayos Academy. My name is Jon Lewis and I'm a solutions engineer with Strayos. Today we're going to be talking about all the tools within the toolbar here in the platform. The first tool we're going to talk about is the polygon tool. As you can see, you can just click on it and start dragging and just dropping points all over the orthophoto. We can give it a name, polygon, green, save. And once it pops up, now you can see what the area is as well as the volume. And if we go over here, we can actually see those individual volume calculations, whether it's a 3D model, DSM, DTM, and how it's actually calculating based on lowest fit and so on and so forth. We can also see an elevation profile. So all throughout the polygon, it's going to show the differences in those elevations. We can also see the surface length and horizontal length, kind of the inclinations between all the different spots and the relative heights between all the different vertices. So then after that, it's pretty easy to convert it to the inventory system, changing the name and what material type, if we were going to create a stockpile from this. The next tool is the line tool, and it makes it very easy to create profiles. So if we just call this line, you can now see that here in the annotations, here's the line, there's the full horizontal length. So if you wanted to measure the distance, the surface length as well. Again, we have the elevation profile. So it's easy to do a 2D profile wherever you want to, just from that. We also have inclination between, and the same thing with the relative heights. And if we wanted to look at the different coordinates for those points, we can as well, just like we could have done on the polygons as well. The next tool is just the coordinate tool. You just kind of select. So let's say we want to look at the bottom of the bench. It's going to pop up with the latitude, longitude, as well as the altitude. And if we want to say compare it to the top of the bench, we can do that as well. We can also view that from within the annotations tab. The next tool is the crop orthophoto layer. So this allows you to change the 2D image and just cut out any information that you're not interested in. It makes it good for, if you want to make a very precise looking mind map from this 2D photo. So from there, we just click done cropping, and now we have more of a rectangular. So you wanted to print it off and put it in your engineering office. If we wanted to go back to the original, you see that it defaults. We just kind of give it a little change there, and we can just fully extend these boundaries to make sure that we're getting everything back. Done cropping, and there it all is again. The next tool is the Calibrate Elevation tool. This is very useful, especially when you're trying to compare data sets that are in the same area where one has GCPs and the other one doesn't. So for example, you fly a bench that has ground control points, and then the ground control points end up getting, say, washed out by a blast, and you don't go back and resurvey different ground control points. This is a way to calibrate the Z elevations. So for example, we know maybe the real elevation is like 470. We can click calibrate, and then all the other elevations will change based on that delta. So everything is going to shift up by 4 all throughout the entire model. And then if you calibrate it, it refreshes the page. And then the next tool is the terrain editing tool. So this is useful if you want to manually scrub information. So like similar to how the digital terrain model flattens conveyor belts and stuff automatically. But let's say we only wanted to do that for a certain area. We can select maybe all of this double click. It's going to ask for the best fit plane or lowest fit plane. If we select the best fit plane and click confirm, now when we go to the 3D model, this orange section, you can see that it's kind of stitched differently because it's doing a best fit of all the different areas for that plane. So that's one way you can go about doing it, or we can reset. It's going to refresh the page. We're going to go back to the Academy, pre-blast, do terrain editing again, and look at the other option, which is the lowest fit base plane. So now when we go to our 3D model, you can see how everything is now fitted to that lowest plane. So then the next one is the closest structure. So, typically for blasting, you have to identify your closest structure because there is a vibrational limit. So if it's a gas line, maybe it's 4 inches per second. Let's say your nearest non-company owned structure is a 1 inch per second. So let's just say we knew out here there was like a subdivision. We can do that, and we can just call it subdivision, save that, and then we know that our bench is here. Call that bench, save, and it's going to show the difference of the center to center. We can go back and use the line tool and actually compare the edge to edge distance if we wanted to do that as well. And call that edge. And it's going to give you the full lengths for that as well. Go ahead and turn all that off. And the final tool is actually the Edit High Wall Crest and Toe. So we can come in here and we can select the crest, and we can actually edit those individual features if we don't like exactly how the AI figured it out. So maybe we want it to appear straighter, so when we give a report to a customer, it looks a little bit less crazy. Or if there was some errors in the way that the AI detected it, like right here, because we have material in front of the bench. So we can actually come in and manually change it. We can reset it, and we can also save. So now our changes have been saved here. So that's all the tools within the platform. I hope this video has been helpful. And if you want to navigate and find more information or additional videos like this, feel free to go to the Strayos website, which is strayos.com. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.